All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine evening. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's special interview is the man, the myth, the legend, Angus McNicholl. And this is his game. It's not the newest game. He's going to tell us all about the newest game.
The newest game? Do you mean this one?
That one I do.
This is the test print that didn't work so well, so it's not the current final gone to print version, but it's not far off. And you can see, I just wanted to give you a comparison from that one, which you rather liked, to, I know you didn't like the cover, but let me just give you an idea of it's about twice as thick.
Yeah, awesome.
It's not a 400-page mega volume like some of the big people can produce.
We don't need those. We're done with those. We don't want to pay $100 for a gaming book. We want a concise, condensed book with good art, good layout, well written, and plays well, right? And
check.
Exactly. The TDF system checks all of that. Give us the elevator pitch for Halcyon Star.
I'm going to say that the reason it's only 200 odd couple of pages, it's because I write it, I lay it, I do some of the artwork for it. I do everything for it. It's a one-man band operation. I do have a couple of editors who help out, but anyway, all the best science fiction starts on a desert planet, so it starts on a desert planet. And that planet is Larson in the Farside system. And you might get the joke, you might not. I don't know.
I get it, but
yeah, you get it. Yeah, okay. It kind of emerged as I was writing it. I thought, okay, that's staying. So
I just hope there's no giant worms in there, is there?
Not from me. I mean, you're perfectly welcome to add giant worms if you need giant worms on your desert planet. And there are some unusual holes in the crust, so maybe who knows? Who knows? We do discuss the ecology of Larson a little bit in this, so it gives you an idea of what could be there and what might not be there. But basically, the book is divided into three parts. The first part is setting, second part is system mechanics and character generation. The last part is director's advice and kind of how to run a game. The usual stuff you get in a rule book. So the basic idea is that it's a kind of space western. And unlike most science fiction games, it is principally set on one planet. Although there are others, and you can choose to go and set your game off on one of those. I just haven't detailed them very much at the moment. And the idea, I originally wrote the first treatment of this over 10 years ago. Yeah, and it was 10,000 years on from this one. And I wrote a huge amount of background and then thought, wouldn't it be far more interesting if we started at the beginning of the story rather than at the end? Because everyone does their dark ages and trying to recover from that. And I thought, this is terribly samey with other things I quite like. So I rolled it all back and started right at the very beginning. So this is the beginning of mankind's golden age. Just hasn't quite flowered yet. It's just starting to come together. They've only got about 8-9 worlds, I think, right at the beginning. And they're just kind of reaching out into space. And this is the kind of their first 50 years of colonization has started. So everything's pretty rough. Communication's difficult. So when you're out on the frontier, you are out on the frontier and you ain't getting back up.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like a Wild West, right?
Yeah, I mean
a little bit dusters, wide brim hat.
Dusters. There's definitely who's the other one? Go on, I had another one. Yeah, the freebie. Obviously, the print version is not free, but the PDF is free. It's obviously very kind of cowboy inspired cover. So that should give you a kind of idea of what it's going for.
Right, and you can get that off a drive-through-RPG, right?
Yep, everything's on DTRPG, of course, because I only trade through them. So yeah, that's the basics. There is no scenario in the core book because it's in this one, which is free. And there's also quite a lot of background information on one of the kind of mining townships on Larson, which is mentioned in passing in the core book, but is detailed in here, so you can use it as the basis for your first series. So it's very much intended to be run like a television series where you have a number of episodes in the drama, and it should hopefully come to a conclusion after 4, 8, or 12 episodes, however many you want to run, and leave enough hooks left over, you could start another series. It's kind of where it's going. But one of the things I really have problems with, and I'm going to use Dungeons and Dragons for the example of this, and it's not that I dislike Dungeons and Dragons, it's just the way it operates, is you meet the patron in the tavern, and every week is another adventure, and by the time you get to the end of the month, you've gone from being a level 1 nobody to a level 20 world-breaking power in about a month, and what do you do after that? So part of what I wanted to do was to write a game that worked on a longer time basis. So
like a slow burn instead of a...
Yeah. Characters aren't adventurers as such. They're colonists. And they do have opportunities to change their world and to have adventures and change their world and to go through these dramatic situations, but it's on a much longer time frame. So although a series might happen within a period of a few months, it could also be spanned over an episode every few years and see things develop and advance. And it's that kind of advancement I really like the idea of, to see the world change and the players to actually have an impact on the world, not just I level up and I get a magic sword.
What?
Well, leveling up and getting a magic sword is cool. Yeah, we all like to do that. But I wanted something.
Yeah, but after you've done it 40 times.
Well, I've done it probably more than 40 times.
Right. Well, you're old like me, so yeah, we've been doing it for long.
Yeah, I've been doing this since I was 9.
Yeah, I was. D&D came out in what, 77?
Yeah, that was the year my brother was born. So I was about 4 when that came out.
Yeah. Well, to tell you how old I was, 10.
Yeah.
And my mom was my first dungeon master. So, why? My dad was a police officer, and the worst kids are kids of cops. And so my mom needed something. My mom was a voracious reader. She read romance novels, and she read Louis L'Amour, and she read sci-fi, and she turned me on to Terry Brooks and Anne McCafferty, Dragonland. My mom was I got a little bit into Louis L'Amour, which I always thought sci-fi and cowboys would just be the ultimate. So anytime those two genres get mixed, I'm usually in for it, and that's what kind of the vibe that Halcyon Stars gives me is that Wild West.
Yeah, that Halcyon Stars wasn't the original name for the project.
No, you had told me. I don't remember what it was though.
Originally, and this was before there was a certain other franchise that had that name, because this was over 10 years ago, it was called The Expanse.
Yeah.
And then I came back to it after a few years and realized that name was now famous and been taken, and I couldn't use it anymore. So I had to rename it.
Good set of novels, though.
It is. I enjoyed them, and I've enjoyed the TV series as well. So
the TV series. I haven't watched the new one, but I saw I think it's the first and second season. I think. Oh,
there's 6 seasons. They're doing the first 6 books, and
I saw the first 1 or 2. I can't remember now. I got rid of most of all my subscription stuff, so I only watch whatever's free now, for the most part. I think I still have Amazon Prime, just because but I'm about to, when that expires in September, that'll be gone too, just because.
Well, the other obvious parallel would be Serenity, or Firefly, the TV series, which is the same thing. Which of course is an inspiration, but it's not a direct rip. But this is not
a parallel. Yeah.
No. So
it is parallel publishing.
It is parallel publishing. Yeah, the name kind of precedes the project by quite a long way. But there's a lot of background in these books that's been thought out. Quite a lot of story to tell. I've got a lot of meta plot around it, and some people don't like meta plot. I appreciate that. Depends how you do it. But I have to say, if it's done right, I think meta plot can really enhance a whole game. And there is one game I'll use as an example that I thought really did meta plot well. Ready for this? Have you ever encountered Tribe 8?
Yes.
Yes. They did a great meta plot. I loved it. You're off to get them all. I've got a complete set of books sitting on the shelf behind me.
Problem is, I moved some stuff, and I don't know where I moved everything.
Ah, well.
It's up here, though, I promise.
I'll take your word for it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's here somewhere. And I have its spin-off, which was the core system, which
Yeah, the
used
Silcore system. Yeah, the
Yep.
second edition.
Yeah, they're sci-fi blue books. Yeah,
Well, I started out with DreamPod 9 with their Heavy Gear game, and then got into Tribe 8 when they released it. And
same.
yeah.
You know, Heavy Gear is still going strong.
It is, but it's become more of a miniatures game, and
it is more of a miniatures
very expensive miniatures game. I mean,
yeah, the miniatures are not cheap, but that's because they're not mass produced, and they're metal.
I know that. I mean, I would love to have them, but I'm not.
I would too, but I just
not that wealthy.
I don't need that metal around my house.
Yeah, I've got a big enough pile of shame already. I don't need more.
Exactly, and now I have a 3D printer, so imagine.
I've got 2.
Yeah, I've only got the 1. It's all I need, but I have a lot of miniatures.
But I have one of each.
And then I found BattleTech, which made it even worse, because there's so many free BattleTech miniatures out there, and they're very well done.
Yeah, but you know, I did have the fortune of playing the new BattleTech fairly recently. I say recently; it was probably a year ago now. And I have to say, I was disappointed that it was basically the original in a new box. And I thought, well, where's the streamlining? Where's the learning from what didn't work? And it wasn't there.
You know, it's a funny thing because BattleTech they're doing their 40th anniversary, and the rules are pretty much unchanged.
Yeah, I mean, I like the world setting.
I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm just saying, how many updates to Warhammer have we had?
Yeah, but let's not talk about Warhammer, for Christ.
12?
That's the other plastic crack shame that I've got.
And it's not gotten any better over the 12.
No.
That's one of the ones I printed up. I mean,
ooh. It's a bit blurry that close to the screen, but I'm getting the impression. Yeah.
I mean, he printed up really well. And same scale and everything. And I mean, he fits right in with the lance that I bought. I'm waiting. Catalyst is doing the new hardback book, and then they've got the new box set. They're going to have a beginner set, which comes with 2 mechs, you know, and then it's the basic rules on how to fight. Because I never got into BattleTech. I looked at it, and it was always those old guys in the back of the room, you know, the game store. You know, when they weren't playing their Napoleonics, they were playing BattleTech, and I would just, you know, I was like,
yeah, 250,000 hitboxes. Here we go.
Yeah, and I kind of really, I mean, I thought the models were cool, you know, but back in the day, it was the metal models, and they didn't look very good, and you know, and it was more about the tactics and the strategery of the game than it was the actual miniatures. But now with resin printing and everything, you can make some awesome. And I will say, Catalyst, love them or hate them, they've got the production quality of the miniatures down solid. There's very little to no flash. I bought a lance, and then my buddy sent me the beginner box, and the miniatures. I didn't have to trim. All I did was wash them, and then I painted them.
Yeah, I mean, the miniatures look lovely. I have no argument with the miniatures. I think there was an opportunity to streamline the game and learn from what wasn't brilliant about it, and they didn't.
The thing is, you know, that my understanding, because I went back, because I didn't know much about BattleTech. I went back and I was reading up and watching some of the lore on YouTube and stuff. And there's a rabid fan base for BattleTech, and they're not very happy with Catalyst right now.
Really?
And haven't been for quite a while. Yeah, they feel Catalyst is taking the game in the wrong direction.
Oh.
Yeah, and they don't like the new edition. They don't like all the box sets. Yeah, there's 2 sides of the coin, right? And they're fighting. Catalyst decided to move forward because they did BattleTech Gothic.
Did they?
Which is,
what the heck is that?
It's been out for I think a year or 2 now, and it's basically adding, for lack of a better word, chaos demons to your BattleTech. You can take parts off of these giant beasts and add them to your mech.
Yeah, I can see why that wouldn't go down well with the established.
Well, here's the funny part: it's selling well.
Oh,
people are buying it, but the purist out there, and you know, there's somebody for everybody, right? So they're complaining about it. That it's not BattleTech. It's not, you know, it's not the core but it's a standalone game. And that's how Catalyst, I think, wanted to move in that realm, right, to try and steal some of 40K's thunder. I think this is just me spouting. There's no definitive proof, but I think they wanted to go that way to try and get more money and get some of those 40K players. But the fan base just rebelled and said nope. There was enough people that bought it that they made it, and I don't know if they've done another print run or not, but there hasn't been, as far as I know, there hasn't been anything new for it. It's just that one box game because the fan base was like revolting, pitchforks and fires.
Well, they were revolting even in my day, but different kind of revolting.
Yeah. Right, and so it's just one of those things that they don't want to lose money because Catalyst isn't making money on anything else except maybe Shadowrun, but even then, that's a dying fan base as well. Yeah, so I just decided my buddy's into it. He's the one who made my Uber GM screen, the wooden GM screen. I'm going to see him at Gamehole Con in October, and we're going to play. My buddy sent me some cool dice, sent me some of the books for fiction. So I'm just waiting for the new rules because I've never played the game yet. I still haven't played. So, but I've got a lance painted up. I'm ready to, I'm ready. My mechs are painted and ready to go. I bought a neoprene mat, a really nice one that I like, with the hexes because I dig the hexes, and you can play by post that way as well because you can say, well, I moved my mech to hex, blah blah blah. So either way, I'm excited to give the game a try. I've got a lance. I've got 10 mechs painted up, 10 or 11 I think painted up. So I've got a choice of mechs. And then, we'll go with it, and we'll see what happens. It looks cool. I'm going to get the new rule book and the new box set just to have it. And if I don't like it, I can always sell it later. But that's, me discovering BattleTech after 40 years. That's pretty cool. But so we've got Halcyon Stars. Is that?
Yeah, sorry, we digressed.
Yeah, we digressed. That's your print proof. You're waiting for the fix to come back. For those that don't know, I kind of know because I know enough of you guys in the industry and I've talked to you guys, but it is a process to get a book made. I mean, you can do Kickstarter and you get the funds, but you still have to go through the layout, the design, and then you've got to get the book printed. You did all the layout and the design and all the art, correct?
And all the writing. Not all the art. No. Some of the art came from Adobe stock. And so it's licensed formally.
Right. It's not AI.
I cannot guarantee that there are no AI in this because some of the Adobe stock is not labeled as AI, but I think it might have been.
Well, from the primer that I saw and the stuff you sent me, none of it looks AI to me. For what that's worth, it looks. Well, I love the art. I'm telling you right now, the free drive. If you guys, meanies, and people watching this in the future, if you have not downloaded the primer or the quick start, do yourself a favor because the art in it is phenomenal.
It's free, and that was a friend of mine that did the artwork or most of the artwork for it. Specifically, I do the deck plans, but he did the character piece for all the characters for the starter scenario.
The quick start, yeah.
Yeah, this is my Stand By Me scenario.
Right, and here's what I like about it is they're not grizzled veterans, with battle scars. These are kids ranging from 9 to 18. So your Stand By Me, it's got all Goonies. It's got all those vibes. But it's a good adventure. I did read it, and the characters make sense when you read their background and the little bit. And I think these are characters that you could play moving forward once you get the core book.
Well, that's the idea. Although this is actually only one scenario, it does kind of outline if you want to make a series out of it. Here's a plan. Yeah. And depending on what happens in each episode, you might need to adjust your plan a little bit. And the idea was that there should be a couple of years between each of the episodes, so that the characters are growing up and coming of age. So that by the time you hit the last episode, the youngest character, Gracie, should be approximately 17, 18.
So a good 8 to 9 years worth of growth over the time frame. What's so the book will be out hopefully by end of the year?
Well, the core book is available on PDF at the moment. Right. So it is available, but if you want to hold out for a hard copy, hold out for a hard copy. I will put out a a discount token to anyone who's picked up the PDF of this, so they have an incentive to actually buy a physical copy. But obviously,
that's awesome.
Until
so you heard that. So if you download the free Quick Start, he'll send you a token that you can use on drive-through to get a discount on the hardback. Is it going to be hardback and softback?
I'm going to. Oh, that's a good question. I think I have only done hardback version for the core rules. Okay. My experience with Mirrorside was that nobody bought the softback, so I don't see much.
I'm not going to lie, I prefer hardback.
I do as well. I don't mind the softback for a small thing.
Like that can be softback. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the core rule book, I want it as a hardback. Now the next, another beautifully produced book, Mirrorside. If you don't have it,
the artwork in this follows the same concept I used for Mirrorside. Mirrorside was the test for everything, basically. And although the Mirrorside artwork was kind of colored in the kind of greeny, was it greeny blue kind of color?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used orange as my unifying color because it's kind of desert tones. I'm just see if I've got a piece that's available. Unfortunately, yeah, there's one that's kind of
it's a good one.
The right kind of colors.
The layout and everything is awesome. So I can't wait to see the finished product. Of course, I'll review it once I get it in my grubby little paws. We've already talked. But what's next for Halcyon Stars? Is there going to be a set of adventures or planet splat books, or do you have any plans?
Well, there are lots of things I could do, and there's lots of things I would like to do. But as a one-man band who releases something every couple of years, I would like a faster return. So I'm working on another scenario called Duplex, which will be laid out in the same way that the Quick Start is. It won't have the system mechanics in it, of course, because I don't need to give those. The assumption is you bought the core book if you've bought Duplex. So that takes a new set of characters you could use for a second season, and you do need to use the characters that come with Duplex because they're absolutely integral to the plot, and you have no clue what the plot is until you're halfway through the story. And that's very deliberate. I'm not sure how much I should break it by saying too much about it, but it's set on a starship. That's en route to Larson. So you will get to the planet by the end of the first adventure. The state at which you get to that planet is, of course, up for grabs.
Hey, crash landing is still a landing.
Well, I have calculated what happens in the event of a crash landing, and it isn't a landing; it's more like a smear. So if things go,
this to me.
I've done all the maths. I know how fast things are traveling. I know how long it takes to get from one place to another, and I know what happens if you don't brake properly before you hit a planet. So there might be the potential for a bad ending.
Is that a bad beginning?
Well, so long as you can get off the ship, I don't suppose it matters. It's the
any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Right?
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
If you can walk away,
If you can walk away, yeah. So because it's hard. Well, there were soft sci-fi unobtainium kind of elements going on here because obviously there's a faster than light capability, but it's the faster than light runs through holes in space. So you fall through a fracture, there is no space or time inside the fracture, so you cross it instantaneously, and there is a continuity between one end and the other. But that still means it might take you a month or 2 months to get from the fracture point to the target planet in the system.
Right.
And I even give you little equations for how you can work this out for yourself if you like maths. Don't let that put you off. You don't need to use them if you don't like it. You just make up the number and say, here we go. That
and we're there.
And we're there. Yeah, J.J. Abrams.
You board the plane and you're there.
Yes, yeah.
Let's go.
We're moving at the speed of plot here, guys.
Yeah. Hey, I love the way you write. First of all, Mirrorside is spooky as hell.
Thank you.
And it is a good book.
I think you'll like the way this one's written better.
I think so, because I read the primer already, or the quick start, and I really liked it. And in fact, when he sent me he does like Brandon does over at Star Anvil Studios. He just sends me little pieces of art, and then he doesn't say anything, you know. And it's like cruel punishment because I'm like, oh my god, what is that? I want it now. And he's like, you gotta wait. And I'm like, that's just mean. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but I am Mr. Mean, so it makes sense. But no, you've always done cool stuff. You've been a friend of the channel for a while now, and I'm glad. I hope the meanies will support this.
I'm sure
We're
they
gonna
will.
definitely. Oh yeah, and we're gonna put it up there on the publishers uh, channel when it's ready. Well, you can buy it now, so I think did you already posted it, didn't you? Or did I?
did. It is already posted. It's up as PDF. I'd just like to give a shout out to my friend Scott who did the cover artwork.
The cover is amazing. Everyone I've talked to is like, "Oh, it looks great."
Yeah,
it's very cool.
This is one of the background characters who's integral to the overall plot line. You can ignore the whole thing if you don't like meta plot, but that's the
I'm
Pilgrim.
telling you, it definitely gives that Tribate Serenity, feel. Heavy gear, even with some of the tech. So I think it's going to be a banger.
I don't think it's especially tech heavy. I mean, you're expecting kind of science
like the guns stuff look look really cool. So I mean, is it high tech? That's
no, it's definitely not high tech. It's colonial level tech. So if you're running a scenario on Earth, it would be science fiction level technology, but out on the fringes, they haven't got all the cool stuff. They've been out there for 20 years, and the tech's old and broken.
Shit's breaking down, right?
It's breaking down. It's very Star Wars in that regard. It's a lived-in future.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that. There's consequences. If you don't keep your stuff working, you may not live another day. Or not for very long. If depending if the evaporators aren't evaporating. Water is an issue, right? We're human beings. We need X amount of water per day, so it can get sticky, and not in a good way. So I like games that have those kind of consequences, and I feel that's the vibe I'm getting from. And plus, the name is just super cool. The name invokes mystery and the stars, and then Halcyon is like, oh, it's just got that je ne sais quoi.
Well, Halcyon came from that, and he did something that kind of conjured up the idea that we're at the beginning of the golden age. So that was the kind of the Halcyon idea. Things can only get better, and they will, but only if you're going to do
it. Right. Yeah. Don't wait for someone to fix the future. You're the someone.
You're the someone. You're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So there's lots of little hints written throughout the book, and I didn't want to write something that said this is how it is. So you'll notice as you read the setting information, there's kind of the official narrative, and then there's little comments across it saying, actually, that's not quite right, or I've seen something that's different to that.
You did a little bit of that in the quick start.
Yes.
Little blurbs, and it's like, hey, wait, but he's contradicting. What's going on here?
It's deliberate.
Right. No, it's good writing. I mean, I like it. It gets you invested, and you want to know more.
When I was involved in writing Fading Suns a long time before I started this project, one of the principles we had was vagification, which is, say something might have happened, don't say it did happen, or suggest how it might be, don't say how it is. And I really like that as a principle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You on the topic of Fading Suns, because you had mentioned before that you had done some writing for them.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything to do with the Ulysses Spiel version, right?
No, that's it. All got handed back to
the original guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Bill Bridges.
Well, I don't like it. I have everything for it, and I don't like it. It's too many.
It's not for everyone's taste. There are things I like about it, and there are things I'm not so keen on.
I don't like all the tokens.
Yeah, it's clearly a tabletop bit of fun. I believe they've done a new release for that, where they've detokenified to make it easier for people who are playing online.
Still too many tokens. I don't need all that. I got enough stuff to deal with. I don't want to deal with all these different pools. It's just not for me. I didn't particularly like the mechanics either. the resolution.
They're better than the old mechanics, I think, and I quite like the idea of how some of the token stuff works. But I think in principle, there's a lot of juggling coins on tabletops.
Yeah. It's just too much for me. I'd rather just play Fading Suns in the Savage Worlds rule set. You know,
that works.
Play Torg, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Play Torg,
yeah.
You know, in a sci-fi setting. So no, that's good. But I remembered you saying that you had a hand in some of the early Fading Sun stuff.
Well,
he was a former White Wolfer, wasn't he? Didn't he?
Bill, yeah, he was. Bill and Andrew were both involved in White Wolf, specifically Werewolf, I think. I think Andrew had a hand in Vampire, and then Bill came in for Werewolf.
Well, I love their stuff on Werewolf is one of my all-time favorite games. I don't like the new version. It's not my...
I have avoided all the New World of Darkness stuff since the original one ended, and I'm quite happy with that.
Yep, I'm the same thing. And I have the original books. I'm keeping it there.
I have a massive shelf just off to this side. You can't see it. It's on the shot, but it's pretty much top to bottom White Wolf.
Yep, because that was the heyday, you know.
It was.
It was all the good stuff. Arcade.
I was the first person in my town to buy a copy of Vampire when it came out.
Really?
Yeah, I was the first one to get a cop from my local game store.
What is it?
And it was so well thumbed, I had to go and buy a second copy.
Wow. What's the local game store there for you?
Well, it's no longer the same one. I don't live in the same place. But when I lived in Aberdeen back then, it was Plan 9.
Plan 9. What a great name for a game store.
They do still exist, but it's not what it once was.
Do you have a store there where you're at currently?
My local store is about 12 miles away.
Ooh, that's not horrible.
It's not horrible, and I work in Elgin 2 days a week, so it's easy to get to.
Right. I was gonna say the good game store for me is 2.5 hours away.
That's a bit extreme. Yeah.
Yeah. The source in Minneapolis, in Roseville. But the local hobby town here in town, which is right down the street from me, it's about at most 5 minutes away. It's a straight shot. He's getting into tabletop role-playing games. And so, but he's also doing BattleTech. You know, he does RC cars is their big thing, cars and planes. But they do Nido, which is this fun stuff that you like stress squeezers. Nido, Needoh, Nido.
Okay.
So hey, this thing has kept me from killing people.
Fair enough.
But, yeah. But yeah, they do all that stuff. But they're also getting into BattleTech. They're getting into tabletop RPGs and stuff. Next weekend I'm going to give a shout out to Excalibur Con here in Duluth. It will be going on. I will be running 2 sessions of Daggerheart for the convention, and that gets me free entry to the con. Woo! There are probably going to be 600-700 people there at maybe 1,000 if we're lucky. I don't know. It's in Duluth. It's at a place called the Deck. DECC, and I don't remember what that stands for, but it's a big auditorium. They have concerts there, hockey games, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so it's a big Star Wars mainly fandom convention. This is, I think it's 3rd or 4th year. It's the 2nd year that they're having tabletop gaming. Last year I ran Castles and Crusades, and I had 6 people at the table, and I had to turn away 3. Because I was running out of the starter box for Castles and Crusades, and it was a blast. And so I got good feedback, and they contacted me and said, you know, hey, do you want to come run games again? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll run 2 games of Daggerheart. And they were like, yay! So,
well, as you know, I'm in Scotland, so I get to go to Tabletop Scotland once a year in September, and I will hope to have some physical copies by then.
Yeah,
to take with me.
You better. You have to sign them.
I might just devalue them with that, could I?
Only if you sign them over the cover or over the art.
Yeah, well,
on the 5-page, you know. Yeah.
So
you're
I usually go.
What is that white blank sheet that's at the front and the back of the book called?
Folio.
It's the folio page.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Just that plain blank white.
That one. Yeah. That's it. It's basically extra stuff it's from the inside of the cover, I think, on these ones.
Right, to bind
just
it to
kind of gum the book together.
Yep.
Yeah, but the look of the way the binding's set. Yeah.
Well, that's drive-through. I mean,
yeah. Although I'm in design and layout and stuff, I don't actually deal with the physical production of books. Never have. I have people to do
fascinating.
It is really interesting.
A buddy of mine, shout out to Nubby Mike. He's made a couple of his own books, bound his own books, and it's pretty cool. It is very fascinating. Someone took, if you search YouTube, you can find a video where a guy takes the 3 core D&D books, 5th edition, and he carefully takes them out, leaves the stitching in them, but takes the covers off with steam and everything, and then combines them into one big massive tome. And it's really neat how he does it. It's
probably a really cool thing to do, but really, do you need a book that big? They're pretty large tomes.
Well, it really doesn't. It only makes it about, it's no. Have you seen Weird Frontiers?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh my God! 1 second.
Oh, how big is that?
Have you seen Lancer, the RPG Lancer?
I'm aware of it, but I've never actually held a copy.
All right, so this is Lancer.
Okay, yeah, that looks
beautiful book. Pretty chunky. That's well over an inch thick.
Yep.
That's going on 1.25 inches easily, right? And the standard thickness on the cover, the cardboard.
I would love to be able to produce a book at that size. Honestly, I would.
And this has got some beautiful art in it. If you haven't seen it, you should get yourself a copy because it is beautiful. Now, this is about a $59.90. This is a $60 book, right? Right now, if you buy the $60, it's beautiful. It's got the embossed glossy cover, and the matte finish. Beautiful book. My buddy Dave.
I'm waiting for this thing.
Came out with a game, basically Deadlands in the DCC universe, Dungeon Crawl Classics, using those same mechanics, but pretty much a Deadlands Savage Worlds kind of thing. But the dead have risen, that whole kind of thing, gunslingers and all that. And he calls it Weird Frontiers.
Okay. Oh, that looks like a pretty book.
Beautiful leather cover.
Look at the size of that thing. It's monstrous.
I can't even hold him up. Jesus.
My God.
Yeah. Can you imagine lugging this around in your backpack at a convention?
No, but it would be cool. It's the sort of book you just tie to your chest and use as armor.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this will stop a 45. I mean, and the, Weird Frontier uses the DCC rules. And it says the back is embossed. It says hell is empty and all the devils are here, and it's got a cross on it. So, if you haven't checked it, Dave Beatty is a firefighter by trade.
Okay.
Right. He wrote this. He's friends with all the guys over at DCC.
I'm just writing it down so I can go and look it up.
Yeah, Dave is super awesome. If you buy this now, it comes in 2 volumes. They split it up into two.
A bit more manageable. Yeah.
Right. But this was the Kickstarter, kind of like the collector's edition. And I found out about it after the Kickstarter had already ended. But I reached out.
You pulled industry strings on the inside to get a copy, didn't you?
I did. I'm not gonna candy coat it. I used the weight of Mr. Mean. Dave he's an angel in human form. He's a super wonderful guy, and he's so creative. You can play a luchador.
Okay.
Yes, you can play a luchador. You can play a nun. You can play a hellbilly, not a hillbilly.
A hellbilly. That's
a hellbilly.
That's yeah.
And you have your mason jar full of mojo. You can play a mystic monk. You can play a mountebank, a good gentleman of quality and standard and upbreeding. The game is phenomenal. The art is amazing. Go check it out. I highly, highly recommend it.
I'm
And
jealous.
I don't know if you've ever played DCC, Dungeon Crawl Classic.
I haven't.
It's a OSR style D20 with some modern trappings on it. It's a really good game. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy, low hit points, high damage.
One sec, I've got the dog pestering to get out. I'm just going to open the door, let him go.
All right.
Ina, can you handle the dog, please? Thank you. Sorry about that. He's
all right. So anyway, we're digressing again, but damn it, there's too many cool games.
Well, I don't mind. We're talking about cool games, so that's really what matters.
There you go. That's the good part. All right.
Yeah.
You are on an airplane.
Sorry?
You're on an airplane. You've got your backpack. You've got one role-playing game. You're about to crash land on an island. You're going to be there for the rest of your life. What's the one game you take with you?
That's a tough question. You're only getting one book.
You only get one book.
So it's not even one game, it's one book.
Well, it could be one game, but it's one book of that game. What do you bring?
That's really, really tough. I'm going to go with my favorite, Slay Industries.
Good man. That's a good one.
I mean, can't knock that. You get to play the monsters and beat up other bigger monsters.
I have all three versions of Slay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have. It's not out yet. I don't have Savage Slay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a knockoff version that was done years ago.
I have that same knockoff version, I'm pretty sure, and I actually ran it.
Really well done. Yeah,
and
it was really well done.
My players loved it, but
yeah.
I personally, as a referee, found that Savage was too pulp, and that the balance of survival was very much in the hero's favor.
Savage characters, unless you really, really try. Yeah, I agree with you. The problem was first edition Slay was painful
in places, yes.
Second edition was just as painful, although they cleaned up some things.
You can fix it with just a couple of quick tweaks. You can completely fix the dice mechanic that's wrong. And I've had this discussion with Jared and co, and we've thrown dice at each other as a result.
Well, are they in your part of the world? I mean, they're in the EU though, aren't they? Well, Dave and Jared are
Dave and co down in Glasgow. So I usually run into Jared and the rest of the guys at Tabletop Scotland. So I make a point of going to see them.
Awesome.
And
well, next time you see them, tell Mr. Mean says hi.
I will do. And they usually convince me to buy whatever it is they've made that year. So
and so anyway, when they did the Kickstarter for the third edition, technically the third edition, I think they call it second edition. I really like the mechanics. I like that D10 system. Is it as crunchy with all the mechanics of the penetration and everything as second? No. But the game plays a lot smooth and the art is phenomenal. So
the art's always phenomenal. It's mostly Dave's work, which of course is brilliant. Wouldn't I love to have him in my back pocket? Absolutely. I do also have the Terminator RPG that they produced. Again, looks lovely. And I have to recommend it. The Stokerverse.
Oh yeah.
I think that might actually be the best version of those mechanics so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Using the same mechanics as Slay?
Yeah. See, I refused to buy Stokerverse on the Kickstarter. I thought, this is not the game I want to play. I don't want it. And then I was at Tabletop Scotland, and they said, "Look at this. Smell the ink." And
you were hooked.
Yeah, I bought the limited edition cover at a ridiculous cost and walked away very, very happy. And I've never been happy with the purchase I bought.
Well, you're going to have to run it so I can play it. Because I've never played it.
You are in Minnesota, which is a bit difficult.
You can run it on Discord. You got to make sacrifices.
I'm a little old school. I
will say, I do have a visa.
Okay.
So, give me a place to stay, and I'm there.
That's fine.
And I like dogs, so.
Well, that's okay. I do have a dog, as you know. He's a big.
Yeah. Well, I like dogs. I don't like cats. I tease Jay Lasarde from Broken Rat Games. I'm like, if I come out there,
he's a cat man.
Cats.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
He's a cat man. He does have a dog though. He just got a new pup.
I'm a cat man who has a dog, which is a bit weird. But that's a holdover from the divorce, so that's okay.
Right. Someone's got to do it, right?
Well,
I'm a dog guy. My wife is a dog guy. My son, he
your
likes
wife's a
dogs.
dog guy?
Well, look at me. Have you seen me with my hair down? I look like a Shetland pony. My hair bear, man.
Fair enough.
You can braid the hair on my back. I mean, you know.
That's probably more information than I actually needed.
Yeah, right. So, my wife and I, so funny little anecdote story. My wife and I were dating years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in Arizona, and I had grown my beard out, right? And she does not like facial hair. We were kind of, shall we say, friends with benefits at that time.
Okay.
And we weren't exclusive to one another, and we hadn't decided to make it anything official. But she had said we were at it was Thanksgiving Day, and we were in the pool because it's Phoenix, Arizona, or we were in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is very warm all year round.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Thanksgiving Day, and we were in the pool, and I got out of the pool, and she's like, "Oh wow," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Now I know what a Wookiee looks like soaking wet." Because like the water was dripping out of my beard, you know, and my hair was on. And I was like, she's a keeper.
Yeah, probably.
I shaved my beard that night, and then that's when we decided to become exclusive, and we were together. We've been together 16 years now, so yeah.
That's a hell of a long time.
But I'm growing the beard back, so
yeah, you're getting away with it. Or
she doesn't mind it if it's short. She doesn't like it when I like it long, you know, because I got that.
Well, I have to admit, I was with my former wife for 25 years, and I was not allowed to have a beard. Hence, I have a beard now.
my wife and I agreed to disagree on the facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
But the agreement is that I have to keep it very trimmed. And I said I can do that. So I try to keep my mustache. I don't like the hairs going over my lip. And I like I'm due for a trim right now, and I need to trim off my neckline.
The hair over the lip thing, that's just the kind of, how do you eat food if your hair's over your lips? I mean, it doesn't work.
I don't know, because it drives me absolutely batshit.
I mean, I know you get a second course stuck in your beard, you can have it later, but that's just gross.
Right, yeah. You don't want to eat your beard while you're eating. You know, why do you think I keep my hair pulled back? I mean, I got a lot of hair.
Otherwise, you can dip it in your soup and keep it for later.
Exactly. Well, and then, you know, you can always... No, but what else is coming up? Are we working on any other games, or Halcyon Stars is the focus?
Halcyon Stars is the focus right now. I would like to go back and revisit Open Fantasy again.
I would like originally, to do that too.
When I did the original Open Fantasy, there is AI artwork in that one. That was whatever I can get from,
but you
Adobe
can
stock.
Fix that moving forward.
And I would like to fix that. And I've also got some ideas as to how I might correct some of the other issues I never quite got right in it. I think Magic needs some more work. So I don't think I want to call it a second edition. I might change the name of it, but I would release it revised. But I think I would. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Do you have a working title, possibly, or is anything sparking you?
I'm just thinking of either Fantasy Unlocked or Adventure Unlocked, but that's just it's there in the back of the head. I've actually got another thing running off 2DX that I would like to do first, and I think I mentioned the last time I was on a podcast with you and Jay and the other guys was that I was interested in doing Cyberpunk, and so I would be interested to do 2DX as a Cyberpunk setting. Where obsolescence is what you're trying to avoid, because that's the thing that nobody does with Cyberpunk is I've got all these cool stuff and it's obsolete in 3 weeks when the new version comes out.
Right.
So I've got kind of set mechanics in my head for how I would handle diminishing.
Here's what I want to see in a good Cyberpunk game, and
go for it.
This is a freebie. I'm giving this to you, so you make the mechanics work. You have cybernetics. Mm-hmm. Right, so Artorsorian and like Savage Worlds, you have X amount of points that you can put cyberware into your body, right?
Yeah.
Essence, whatever you want to call it, your soul. That's great. I have no problem with that. That mechanic.
I do.
Works.
I have terrible problems with that.
Yeah, right, agree. But here's my argument.
Okay.
Like you said, when you get the new cyberware, there's no penalty.
Yep.
In any of those games, you just swap. You get, the old arm did a D6 in damage. The new arm does a D8, but there's no further penalty. So what? But there's got to be something. There's some sort of mechanic that I feel needs to come into play when you keep upgrading, you keep losing a little bit of yourself. Yeah, you already cut your meat arm off and you put a cyber arm on. Great. You lost a little bit there, but now you've put something bigger, stronger, faster, more powerful on. There's got to be a little more loss there of some kind, in my opinion.
For me, with the Cyberpunk, it was always, you always buy the best kit you can get. So, once you've got the best kit there is, anything else the GM introduces above that is better still. So you're in constant escalation. So I've got the +1 booster, I've got the +2 booster, and now I've got a +3 booster, and the next one is better than that again. But
yeah, what happens when you top out? The Alien Covenant, or whatever the Alien TV show was that was just on
Alien Earth.
They kind of touched on it a little bit because they had the synths, right,
yes,
which they used for combat and everything, and they were made obsolete by, or no, it was the other way around. They had human soldiers who had cybernetics, and they were made obsolete by the synths.
By synths, yeah.
And so, but there was that, fighting between the mercenary guy, the black guy, with the cyber arm, and he had the blade in it and everything, and the synth, who was more of like a lieutenant. He was not a frontline combat troop. He was more of an organizer turned scientist. So that kind of touched on it a little bit, like, this is obsolete. We're moving forward. What happens to the old stuff? Well, it gets repurposed, gets reused for something. So yeah, some sort of mechanic in there, I think.
But a game mechanic system is always going to, once you get the +5 magic sword, the only thing better than that is a +6. And it distorts how the game engine operates.
And what happens to the +5 magic sword, right?
So my thought was, what happens if your cyberware gets worse if you don't keep up your repayments or whatever it is you've got to do in order to remain cutting edge?
What was the genetic opera? What was it called?
Genetic opera?
There's a musical from the guy that was in, he played the handler in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show.
I know the guy, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, he had a slightly British accent, wore glasses. But it was called the Genetic Opera. He wore on Repo, the Genetic Opera. And basically what it was is it's a musical set in a dystopian cyberpunk style future where people had synthetic organs or cybernetic organs, and if they didn't make their payments, they got repoed.
Yeah.
And he was the guy that went and repoed them. And so, he would just cut them out, and you'd lay there and bleed out if so obviously you make your payments. But yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. It's a pretty good musical.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah, it was Repo, the Genetic Opera, I believe is the name of it. So, yeah, it's pretty dark. But yeah. So yeah, that kind of thing too is, what happens if you don't keep up with your payments? Are you always, Cyberpunk never really touched on that. They kind of did. You took some disadvantages, but they never, I ran Cyberpunk for years, one of my favorite games, and I never once, it was like, oh, Arasaka's coming after you, to get their heart back because you didn't make a payment, and never thought about it. But now it makes total sense. Like, what do you do when you're out of money, you're out of credits, and your last year's model, you can't keep up, you can't compete.
Yeah, I played a lot of Cyberpunk at university, and before I even went to university, was a friend of mine who I'm again playing with now, who used to run Cyberpunk. He was brutal. He was. That's given me kind of lasting flashbacks to what Cyberpunk should be.
Right, exactly. It should be. It should be beyond dystopian, right?
Yeah.
So we did our first question. We got to get back on track here. Right?
Sorry.
Babbling.
Yeah.
The second question is, if any one person, past or present, that you could you could bring back to game with, who would it be?
To game with?
Sit down and play a game with somebody.
Yeah, I don't think Stephen Hawking's a good one for that. Great dinner guest, not so good for gaming with.
Well, it'd be hard for him to roll dice, but hey, Foundry.
He's probably got an app on his
chair.
Yeah, on his chair. Yeah, he can have an app for that. That's really tricky. Who would I most want to game with? I don't know that I would go for a celebrity gamer, to be honest. I'm not huge on influencers. And I don't think you've quite hit celebrity status yet, have you?
No.
I can't pick you for that.
I'm just a schmuck with a camera.
That's okay. I'm just a schmuck with a book, so it's okay. I actually have.
What could be literary?
With my original gaming group after the best part of 40 years, and I'm really enjoying playing with them. So it's not really an answer to your question, is it? It's not really a. But these were the guys that I originally learned D&D with back when I was age 9. And
it could be anybody. Albert Einstein, Gandhi.
I don't think he's much of a gamer. I don't think these people really. Grandpa. Yeah, I don't think I can answer that honestly with a person. That's really dull, isn't it? Sorry.
It's okay. I mean,
actually,
it's not the first time I've heard that.
I think if I was going to pick someone a bit celebrity that I would really like to game with, I would probably go with Bill Bridges or Andrew Greenberg. I think.
Ooh, those are good answers.
One or both would be an experience, I think.
Yeah, I think very much so. And then the last question, and we'll start to wrap up here. I like to keep these at an hour or under.
Yeah, sure.
That one game that you wish, damn, I wish I would have wrote that. What is it?
Where do I start? I mean...
No, you can only pick one.
Only pick one. If I wish I'd written any one RPG, I'm going to go with Vampire.
It's a good one. I don't think I've had that one yet.
Yeah, I mean, that got a lot of hours out of many of my groups. There was one point we were playing every day. I mean, we were practically spending more time.
And it brought hot chicks into the hobby.
We didn't have any hot chicks. We were not that kind of group, to be honest.
No, but it is the game that brought hot chicks into the hobby.
Yeah. We just didn't have any with us, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I was going to Gen Con before Vampire made it, and there were no hot chicks at Gen Con. The year after Vampire the Masquerade came out, they were everywhere.
I'd like to point out, in my defense, I was a goth before I bought Vampire the Masquerade.
Right, same here.
So I had the long trench coat and the dyed black hair. I
didn't have to dye my hair. It was already dark, but it was dirty blonde. I've always been now I'm a gray blonde.
Well,
now you're just gray.
Yeah, I'm just gray all over. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so am I. It's getting bad. Oh well. Angus, always a pleasure, sir. I'm so glad to see the book is coming out, and hopefully it's doing well. I can't wait to see the physical copy.
I can't wait to see the physical copy.
You haven't checked it out. Say again?
I can't wait to see the physical copy. It'll be great.
Right? Soon, right? They're working on it.
It's been ordered. It's somewhere at the printer, but I don't know where that is exactly.
I don't know. Do they? I think they print out of Lithuania, don't they?
It's a pod, so it could be almost anywhere.
That could be.
I suspect it's probably in the UK for avoidance of export or import taxes or something. But it'll be here hopefully in a week or two. Otherwise, I'm going to get desperate and just order things for people and hope that the graphics have actually worked this time.
Yeah, well, be careful, man. Take your time. Put out the book you want. You never want to have regrets over stuff like that. So
no, I definitely don't. And I did have a big problem. I can show you what went wrong with it. This is at risk of sending your podcast over the end of the time zone, isn't it?
That's all right.
So
I know the owner. He's kind of a jerk, but we'll let it go.
is that map.
Oh, yeah.
But on this side, see this big white square?
Yeah.
That shouldn't be there. That's what happens when you use a PDF with a transparency over the top of another layer. And DTRPGs, PDX 1A, whatever the hell the print standard is, doesn't like transparencies.
Ah.
It also doesn't like transfer modes. If you put a graphic in and use luminosity transfer mode, as I did for a lot of them, it ignores it completely and you just get the color image.
Oh, wow.
So that was a shocker. After 2 years, I'd forgotten how it works, and then made a mess
So
of it.
you got to fix all that and then send the file back to them.
Yeah, done that.
So now you're just waiting for the next copy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people don't understand how much headache is involved in producing this, and I mean, I don't know any rich, game designers. Period.
There aren't any, for a good reason.
Yeah. So that should tell you something right there. It's a labor of love, and I, for one, thank you for having the love in you to put pen to paper and give us cool worlds to play in. So all I can say is thank you. Keep up the great work, and I hope we get some good comments and stuff. If anybody, make sure you send me all your socials in Discord so that I can link them in the video. And if you have a drive-through, you do have a drive-through RPG link. Put all that in a message to me in a PM on Discord, so that I'll cut and paste it and put it in the show notes here, so people can find your stuff, because you make cool games and you need more exposure.
Thank you.
All right, my friend.
Thank you for having me, and
thank you
give us a share at any time.
Thank you for letting me have you. That didn't sound right.
We understand. It's okay.
All right, my friend, we're going to end the video.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Have a good one.